It is stunning to me, stunning, to hear you say that the prior administration reunited children with their parents.
Oh, I see. So this is their fault? But you're not going to take any responsibility for the indentured servitude and exploitation of children that is happening on your watch. A moment ago, you were crowing about the fact that you treated children so well, and yet we find tens of thousands of children who are forced to work as slaves because of your policies, and you turn around and blame a prior administration. Mr. Secretary, this is par for the course for you. You do it every time you appear before this committee. You do it every time you appear before Congress. I, for one, am sick and tired of it, and thousands of children are in physical danger because of what you are doing. You should have resigned long ago, and if you cannot change course, you should be removed from office. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Joining me now, Republican Senator from Missouri and author of the new book, Manhood, The Masculine Virtues America Needs. And actually listening to Mayorkas' voice tells me America really needs more masculinity. Senator, okay, I played that clip on my radio show last week, and I immediately got an email from a listener telling me that they wish my voice sounded more like yours. That's insulting.
What can I say? It's good to be with you. Thanks for having me. Despite that, thank you for having me.
Okay, Mayorkas sucks. Everyone knows this. What I want people to see, and what I know that you've been trying to get through to people, is this seems like more than a failure. I see the right talk about this all the time. When we have a wide open border, they'll say that he's screwing up, or this is a blunder, or I can't believe the mistakes they've made. These aren't mistakes. The border was fairly secure. They opened it up, and they did it on purpose.
Yeah, no, that's right. They are doing it on purpose, and chaos is what they want. Jesse, there's no doubt about it. They want to, I think, collapse the immigration system. They want tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people coming across the border. They want the asylum system to be totally overrun, and it is. They want our detention facilities to be totally overrun, and they are. They want to collapse the whole system so that they can replace it with a true open borders policy in the law. Right now, our law says that the border is supposed to be closed. Our law says there's a process if you want to come to this country. And these guys, the Biden administration, they want to explode all of that. It's part of their open borders religion. And it's a disaster for this country.
Senator, what does the normal American do with all that frustration then? Because this seems to be a pattern more than just the border, where if you get a Democrat elected, they will just choose to stop following the law. As if it's just an option. They'll choose to stop following the law. Well, you look, they obviously have the DOJ, DHS, presidency, everything else. What do we do when the leaders of the nation just stop following the law?
Well, I think the first thing that we've got to do is we've got to be vocal about telling the truth. I mean, every American should recommit themselves right now to telling the truth and not being intimidated by this administration that wants to silence the truth. They want to kick us off social media. They want to kick us out of school board meetings. They want to silence us and cancel us. And I think this is a time to stand and be bold. And I just salute all of those patriots out there who are doing that and saying, I'm not going to be canceled. I'm not going to be threatened. I'm not going to be cowed into submission by these people. So I think at this time, when this administration is really trying to destroy free speech in America, and with that, everything else that we hold dear, we've got to recommit ourselves to saying, whatever it costs me, I'm going to tell the truth. And then, of course, on from that, when we've got the chance to exercise the franchise and to vote, we've got to vote in a way that reflects what we believe in. And that means demanding conservative candidates who will actually stand up and fight, who will stand up and do something and not just be yes men or yes women when they get to D.C.
I'm glad you brought that up about the yes men and yes women. And actually, this ties right back to your book. It seems like, look, I call them the low T GOP. It seems like our Republican Party has for years, for most of my adult life, been very, very nice. And we've been very nice, and we use the nice, we want to do things the right way. And we talk about things like principles. In the meantime, the rabid communists on the left are tearing through every part of this culture. And so much of our party seems afraid to even speak to it, let alone do something about it. We're right and they're wrong. Why are we afraid?
Yeah, I think that's because a lot of the folks who are in D.C., they want to get along with everybody else there. It's the go along to get along. I've seen it in my brief time in the Senate, a little over 4 years now in the Senate. And I've seen it every single day. Like, well, I don't want to be criticized in the media. Oh, I don't want to be criticized by leadership. I got to make sure I keep leadership happy. My view is that I'm not there to answer to leadership. I'm not there to answer to the press. I'm there to answer to the people who elected me. Number one, ultimately, I'm answer to God for the choices I make in my life. So I think we've got to say to the people who we vote for, listen, you answer to me and to nobody else. And we need to elect candidates who have the guts to stand firm, because if you're doing the right thing, if you're rocking the boat, you are going to get criticized. They will come after you in Washington. I know that firsthand. And we need more people who, when they come after you, they will say, no, I'm going to stand right here. I'm not going to give an inch.
Why do we lack that in the Senate? There's like 5 good senators and the rest of them suck. And there's a few good members of the House, but the Senate, for some reason, it just dies. My own state of Texas, I don't know if you know him, so you don't have to rip on him. We have one good senator, and then John Cornyn is there. How's John Cornyn a senator from the red state of Texas? We have these weenies all over the Senate for the GOP. How's that happen?
You know, I think that the Senate, I don't know institutionally quite how we got to where we are. I mean, listen, I'm a guy who voted against my own leadership in the Senate. I mean, I just did it a few months ago where I voted against our current leadership. I said I thought we needed somebody different. We need somebody new. We need somebody who's actually in touch with the voters. And I stand by all of that. I mean, I say it practically every single day. I just think the Senate is really out of touch with the American people. And I think they're really out of touch with Republican voters. And, you know, I mean, my colleagues don't like it when I tell them that, but I said, listen, guys, I mean, you don't reflect. Look at what Republicans in the Senate have done for the last 2 years during the Biden administration. They gave Joe Biden victory after victory. I mean, whether we're talking about their climate agenda, which they dressed up as an infrastructure. In fact, it's all green climate garbage, which makes China rich and America poor. Or whether we're talking about their gun control bill. I mean, I don't get it. And obviously, I'm sometimes a lone voice in the Senate, but very often in the minority in my own party. So I'm an outlier there, and maybe I'm the one who's out of touch. I don't know.
Good, stay out of touch. What are the masculine virtues America needs?
We need men who, number one, are stronger. What's that look like? Men who want to have the qualities of character of husbands and fathers, warriors and builders, priests and kings. And that's what the whole book is about. You know, we need men who want to be good men, who want to be strong men. At the end of the day, are going to protect, going to provide, and be willing to sacrifice for the people they love, for their neighborhoods, for their churches, and for their country.
Senator, are you going to be in leadership soon? I totally agree. Our leadership really, really sucks in the Senate. The House is a little bit better, but are we going to see a move to kind of replace some of this old guard that's let us down time and time again?
Well, it's not going to be me. I have no interest in leadership. But I do think that we need to change. And like I said, I've openly called for that. I voted for it. I would do it again. I'll have the chance to vote. You know, we do this every 2 years in the Senate. So if people in Missouri are willing, send me back. I'll be able to do it again in a couple of years, and I'll vote for new leadership then too. And I just hope that we can get leaders at all levels, you know, whether it's an official leadership or in the rank and file, who want to do what the voters sent them there to do. And right now, that means standing up and telling the truth. Right now, that means pushing back against Joe Biden's radical left neo-Marxist agenda, not going along with it and facilitating it. And I just think that it's not hard. It's not like it's super complicated. It takes some wherewithal. You got to be willing to take the criticism to do it.
Senator, the book is Manhood. Go pick it up. I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
I have great news. If you enjoyed that, I have a YouTube channel you can subscribe to. Whatever I do, it'll be right there on YouTube. So go subscribe today.